Jason Lee Podcast.
We're back. It's been almost a month. It's been a while.
It has.
Listen, had to take some time away, was on vacation. I'm still here, still living and breathing. Rob and I. It's been a minute. I keep seeing all your comments online about where's the show? We have had shows prepared, but I had to go on. I went on vacation. I went to.
Was it? Oh,
I went to St. Lucia. I went to St. Lucia. My first time ever in St. Lucia. Listen, I'm gonna look at the shade cam. To all the St. Lucians, whatever y'all are called, thank you for all the love. St. Lucia is a beautiful island, and I know that the tourism board or whatever follows me now. Yes, we are going to do St. Lucia Unlocked or something creative. I love St. Lucia, the water, the service, the beauty, the pitons, the everything. I stayed at this place called Sugar Beach, which is extremely expensive. I only went down a third of it. I split it up with a couple other people. And I don't like really going on vacation with people I've never spent a lot of personal time with, like one-on-one, like spending the night. But I went with Catherine Bruton, who you all know if you've been following. She was a recipient of the Impact Awards, and she's the head of Urban, not Urban, she's the senior vice president of BMI. And then Nova Sky, who is Justine Sky's mom. And then my friend Evian. So we went anyway. We shared this massive villa, but I was on my own wing and they were on their own wing, and it was great. And then you all saw the travel hell I went through with American Airlines. And I know we're talking to them about sponsorship, but in true Jason Lee fashion, if you missed it, take a look at my Instagram post. Boop. Do you want to know what a disgruntled travel passenger looks like? American Airlines? Me. Why? Because you have screwed up my vacation, having me stuck in San Francisco, stuck in Miami, and then even after all that sacrifice, all these people that get to go, I don't get to go. I have accomplished a lot of things. I ran for office and won. I started a company, I won. I wanted to be friends with some of the most powerful people in the world. I won. Got in the White House and everything. But you know what I can't do? Get to St. Lucia because y'all keep f***ing up my travel plan. Are you going to St. Lucia? She's going to St. Lucia, but guess who ain't? Me. Why? Because American Airlines can't figure out how to book. Your tires don't work. Your engine is late. Your passengers, they nice. Diane, I like her. I ain't going to show her because y'all try to get Diane. Diane's the only one trying to help me. The manager over here, she's lazy. St. Lucia, I want to come. Brandy, Kalani, can y'all send a jet? I can't make it because American Airlines keeps fucking up. Are y'all going to St. Lucia today? I'm not. Why? Because American Airlines can't book their passengers properly. Where's Spirit Airlines when you need them, huh? Yep, that's what I went through with American Airlines, and they have since told me they want to give me $900, but I'm sorry, you're probably $10,000 off of where I think we should settle on this travel nightmare. As of right now, I will be Delta One. I might even do Spirit Airlines. If they were still here, Trump destroyed that. But nonetheless, I had a fabulous time over there. Shout out to Chloe Bailey. I saw her, and then Brandy and Monica, who performed. And I have to tell you, sometimes we forget how many hits Brandy has.
Oh, she got them hits.
Brandy, you know the conversation that you and I had? You did that. You are that girl. I was able to love on her in person and tell her just the discography you forget over the years. She went through so many different eras, unpacking hit after hit after hit. And Brandy, you also said to my face that you wanted to come to the Impact Awards next year, or that you would, or something to that nature. You did not commit in person to do my show, although I heard you want to do the show, although I know you are scared to do the show, but we will honor you. Brandy needs to come on the show.
Absolutely, but she does need to come to the Impact Awards.
She has to.
Yeah.
We have to be able to have a Brandy moment.
A Brandy moment would be epic.
And you look great too, Snatch. Her daughter was there. Her daughter is just all grown up. It's so crazy. Anyway, it's been a crazy couple weeks, but I'm so glad that I was able to find my way to this chair. And there's so many other things going on, like the Hollywood Unlocked Impact Awards. Everybody sees me in the front, but I have to give Rob a round of applause. Hell, I even give you flowers. Because Rob produces the show. I get all the credit for it, but Rob does the whole show. And what I do love is it just makes me think, like, what other shows can I give Rob to do? You know, I love being able to come up with an idea, but has it been crazy to watch the growth of it?
It's crazy to watch the growth of it. And I talk about this all the time
You
with
got
you.
flour on your head, by the way.
Oh, that means I'm special. It's like getting shit on by a bird. Yeah, I talk about this with you all the time, how we've seen the show evolve from when the first time you did it, I wasn't there. I was out of the country, and you guys did it at like a warehouse or a club, and you turned it into that venue. And then we evolved it into the award show that it is now at the Beverly Hilton, and it's just expanded so beautifully in the past 5 years. So it's magical to see it. But it's also, I hate to say it, but we've created such a process that it's not difficult to do, and it's a small team. It's like,
but I still find a way to be stressed out.
You stress yourself out. I don't know why.
So we just did this whole walkthrough of the venue. We have teams that control every piece of this. Rob oversees the whole thing, but I'm finding ways to stress out because I'm such a perfectionist. I think the hardest part that people don't know is the securing of the talent, and I have to call each person. So Rob will walk in the room and say, "Why don't we honor Michelle Obama?" And it's like, what? And I got to figure out how to reach out to Michelle Obama, which, by the way, Michelle, you better pull up next year. But no, I think that it all does come together, but it is just so it reminds us how promising opportunity can be if you create it, right? We have great partners at Zeus. Lemuel and Jason and LJ over at Zeus Network have been phenomenal partners in helping us to invest in such a space. We've already started looking at next year and who we're going to have there. And so I'm just excited this year. In case you have missed it, we are honoring Tyler. Hold on, what we got in? Tyler Perry, Kalani, Bozoma St. John, Justin Jones, the congressman that's out there kicking ass. We're honoring Patti LaBelle. Who else?
Megan Good.
Oh, Megan Good.
RZA.
Kirk Franklin, the RZA.
Yep, that's it.
We have and the music, I'm going to just let y'all pull up and see what it's about. And it's benefiting the Hollywood Cares Foundation and the work that I'm doing in Stockton and want to expand across the country and across the state of California. So anyway, anything else to add there?
No, I think that covers it. They just got to tune in when it airs.
Yeah, and it'll be on Zeus Network. And this will be our third year airing on Zeus, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Shout out to Zeus and Lemuel again. Okay. Well, look, I know y'all are like, okay, that's all great, but we've been waiting almost a month, so just get straight to the shit. So it's time for the Tea with Jay Slee. All right, obviously he's back in the news. Donald Trump has hit another level of dictatorship as he made his administration agree to block the IRS from auditing him and his whole family and agree to pay the Capitol rioters. Now, before I even get into all the shenanigans, that is kind of gangster, though. To say like the IRS can't audit me or my family or any of my businesses. I'm not saying it's appropriate, and I'm obviously against it because that doesn't apply to all the rest of us. But y'all gave this man the free will and power to do whatever he wants, and he's literally getting us all back thanks to all of you for him losing the election the last time. I feel like once you lose the election, just lose and go away. Mm-hmm. But y'all let him come back, and this is what happens when people get their revenge. Their whole family gets free of IRS audits indefinitely. Is that a thing? Indefinitely?
I think that he snuck it in the middle of the night. So
people didn't know that that's what he was getting? No,
they didn't know that that was even a part of the deal.
Back in January, Trump and two of his sons and his businesses sued the IRS for $10 billion after a former contractor leaked their tax returns to the media during Trump's first term. While settling Trump's lawsuit, the Justice Department agreed to create the Justice Department that's under Trump agreed to create a $1.776 billion compensation fund to benefit Trump's allies and Capitol rioters. A day later, the DOJ silently snuck in an addendum granting President Trump and his family and businesses immunity from past impending tax audits and investigations. And for all of us who are breathing today with a pulse, remember the biggest scandal when he first ran was that he wouldn't release his tax
history.
His tax history. And then there was the whole discovery that he hadn't been paying taxes. Well,
it's above me.
Well, no, it ain't.
Allegedly.
I don't want to get sued. Allegedly. Now, the silver lining in all this is that girl who was over DOJ, she caught thyroid cancer. And I don't want to like be happy about Pam Bondi, but all that throat she was using to disrespect all those people. God said, touch not my anointing, do my prophets no harm. And now your thyroid got canceritis all up and through it. And I'm not mad, are you?
No, it's not my business.
Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche added this page to Trump's settlement deal. Look, the settlement agreement in Trump versus Internal Revenue Service, and I ain't going to spare you the number, has created the Anti-Weaponization Fund. The settlement agreement directed the Attorney General to issue an order establishing funding and any other relevant requirements for the fund. Capital turns it out. The United States releases, waives, acquits, and forever discharges. Barred. Wait, where's it at? Okay, discharge. Okay. And forever barred and precluded from prosecuting or pursuing any and all claims, counterclaims, causes of action, appeals, or requests for any relief, including injunctive relief, monetary relief. Listen, I'm not even reading all that. Is that crazy?
It's nuts.
Is that corruption?
Yes.
Is that abuse of power?
I think so.
Trump ended up defending the use of taxpayer dollars for the DOJ's $1.7 billion slush fund. Where's it at? Reimbursing January 6 writers. So the people that actually climbed up the Capitol, hurt our police, hurt each other, and somebody got killed in the process, maybe one or two people, they get to benefit from this slush fund that Trump created, which only further empowers the Proud Boys and all the other maggots. Anyway, take a look at this video.
The Justice Department has this new fund that was announced today, $1.7 billion.
Yeah.
Why should taxpayers pay for the January 6th?
Well, it's been very well received. I have to tell you, I know very little about it. I wasn't involved in the whole creation of it and the negotiation. But this is reimbursing people that were horribly treated. It's anti-weaponization. They've been weaponized. They've been, in some cases, imprisoned wrongly. They paid legal fees that they didn't have. They've gone bankrupt. Their lives have been destroyed. And they turned out to be right. I mean, it was a terrible period of time in the history of our country. And they worked on it. I know the Justice Department, it's really been working on it very hard. There's been numerous other occasions over the years where things like this have been done. But these were people that were weaponized and really treated brutally by a system that was so corrupt, with corrupt people running it, and they're getting reimbursed for their legal fees and the other things that they had to suffer.
Now, listen, I am a government official now because I am in local politics, and I do believe corruption is real, and I see the spin he just put on all that. And at the end of the day, it's really about how do you market to people your message, right? This is a message of complete disrespect to both the political process, democracy, people who lost their lives, people who were just like the fact that we actually saw a documentary where Nancy Pelosi and other people were being ushered to safety because they were under attack. They were overthrowing our government in response to the political dog whistling that Donald was doing to make people help to keep him in office. And it was Mike Pence, who, believe what you want about him. And look, I don't agree with a lot of what Mike Pence stands for, but that was a true test of his character at that moment, because he could have swung it the other way. But the fact that he didn't, I'm going to give him a round of applause, because it's not about Democrat, Republican. At this point, it's about what's sane and what's psychotic. And that moment will go down etched in history as him standing on the right side of history. But when you see something like this happen, and I know how passionate you are about politics, I know how passionate you are about equity, and this is obviously not equity at all. What do you think?
I'm extremely frustrated, and the first thing that comes to my mind is that this is a form of reparations. So he is essentially providing reparations to
white people.
Allegedly,
white people
and white nationalists and people who are members of organizations that are anti-black. But at the same time, these are all the people who would say that black people don't deserve reparations in this country. And if this is truly open to people who have been wrongly treated by the government of the United States, who is allowed to pay for this beyond January 6ers? Should it be politicians who were also, treated unfairly this year and the year before by being targeted by this administration? Is it open to Black people who have been targeted by, unfair policies like redlining and, things that have affected the Black community throughout history? Are they entitled to these reparations? Because again, they're so anti-reparation if it sounds like it's going towards Black people, but they're pro-reparation if it's going to white people.
And those of you out there that don't know what he's talking about, because some of y'all be on TikTok all day and don't know that reparations is something that Black people have been talking about for a long time because of slavery, like building this country for free after the Native Americans were slaughtered. I've seen that conversation online and I agree. And it's almost like the government has done a really good job, Democrats and Republicans, of making Black people believe for years that reparations is impossible when this man literally just showed you what it looks like and how fast it can get done. So now we know reparations is possible, but doesn't that now put more pressure on the Democrats when they do take office that you better do for us the way that he did for himself, because this is the promise that you all been making for years.
Yep.
Well, trying to block Trump and the $1.7 billion fund, Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett introduced the Stop Trump Act during a House Judiciary Committee hearing. And, this is what happened. Look.
Are the Proud Boys a white supremacist organization? Yes or no?
It's my view they are.
Depends on how you define it. I have a book.
Okay.
What?
Never mind.
It
Next.
depends on how you
it's
define
a yes
it.
or no. Proud Boys, how they define themselves. Are they white supremacists? Yes or no?
I have not read a description of how they define
Okay,
themselves.
that's fine.
I'm not on their mailing list. I don't know.
They're not white supremacists.
And you know what? I do believe that y'all believe that. Let's try another one. Neo-Nazis.
Yes.
Is the question still about the Proud Boys or is it about the
Neo-Nazis.
Neo-Nazis.
We have moved on. Neo-Nazis.
Neo-Nazis are hate groups, and I have a book, 2002.
Okay, thank you.
You get this job.
Neo-Nazis, are they white supremacists?
Yes or no?
What's that?
Yes or
They're
no?
certainly anti-Semitic.
Yes, they're white supremacists.
Woo, thank God. Jesus Christ, I didn't think we were going to get there. Proud Boys are freaking white supremacists. Neo-Nazis are too. And this president, who loves to coddle white supremacists, has decided that they should be given checks. The reasons that I pointed to those particular organizations is because you can go and read, I don't know how many articles, as Dr. Swain wants people to read up. It is clear that neo-Nazis as well as Proud Boys joined in on January 6th. Yet this slush fund that they keep talking about is specifically to give them money. So how dare this majority sit here and try to lecture this organization about money? Now, we're not talking about tax-paying dollars as we are in that slush fund. But you're telling me that $2 billion in the same country that I'm sure some of y'all would struggle with whether or not the enslavement of Black people was good or bad. I'm not even gonna go there and ask y'all the question because y'all struggle with defining that these people were white supremacists. But this country still hasn't thought that reparations made sense for Black folk in this country. But at the same time, they've decided that people that are in organizations that are absolutely white supremacy organizations should get our tax dollars because they decided to tear apart or attempt to tear apart our democracy. They are being rewarded. These are people that went through our criminal justice system. When people on that side of the aisle claim that they love law and order, they went through it. They either entered pleas of guilty or they were found guilty. And this president, on day one, his priority was not around racism. It was around doing things like letting them go and now putting money in their pockets.
Did she lie?
No lies told.
This is why y'all work to get her out of there. This is why Trump redesigned the districting and all of that gerrymandering that happened to get her out of office, because she's a loud voice saying what needs to be heard. Now, elsewhere, Michelle Obama suggested to Sam Fragoso that some of Trump's MAGA minions might not be racist, but desperate for change after the Obama and Biden eras. Take a look.
You can't look some people in the face and tell them you have no right to be angry or to do something that maybe is against your own interests. That's human nature. Many of the people who voted for my husband twice, twice. And I know that that's how they feel. It's like, this isn't about anything other than we need something different.
Yeah. They voted for Donald Trump. Yeah.
You know?
That's a lot of people.
So you can't just pigeonhole them and say you just don't care and you're racist or whatever you're thinking. This is an act of, I don't know what else to do. Just wish we had more leaders that were figuring out how to do more for the middle class, for the working folks, because those are the folks who are drowning in this economy. It's not me anymore, but I know those folks. And they're good people, and they don't have a way out.
And that's why we all still love Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
But despite Michelle's comments, the folks in New York want 4 more years. Look.
I know. We have a hat. The hat says 4 more years. It drives the radical left lunatics crazy.
Are you a radical left?
No, I'm not radical. I'm sensible.
4 more years. I don't think we have the emotional bandwidth, right? To go through, like, if you just sum up, what has America gotten in terms of progress? Now, obviously, if you're racist or whatever, you know, we got more black and brown people out the country. I mean, I don't, but what have we actually gotten? Gas is high. Affordability is still the #1 issue. Homelessness is crazy. People can't find real good jobs. AI is eroding with the workforce. What have we gotten?
Higher inflation.
Higher inflation, the tariff wars. I don't even know where we are. I know that a Louis bag costs $30 in China and they mail it over there to put a zipper on it. I don't know. Like, what have we gotten?
More wars. We
got more wars. We kidnapped the president. But I mean, besides all of that, what have we benefited?
I guess we changed the name of the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay. Who the fuck have you ever been there? I've never been there, you know?
I can't think of anything that has come out of this administration.
So what I'm trying to understand is what rational person says 4 more years of this?
I'll tell you. I have an opinion on that. And 100% Michelle Obama is right. Everybody who voted for him is not racist. But I do believe a majority of people who voted for him are people who don't want to lose their superiority. And I think if you look at, you know, groups who are born into a certain type of privilege, those groups are the ones that...
Are you talking about white people?
Yes. And they voted for him, even though, you know, the term that people use is voted against their own interests. I don't think they're voting against their own interests. They're voting for what their interest is. Their interest is to have a leg up over people of color.
Yeah,
that is their interest.
Well, and I'll say serving on the city council in Stockton, where I live, with these folks, I'm the only black person up there. You know, I try not to lead with race on everything because everything's not racially motivated. But at some point, you go, wait a minute. You have done the political dog whistling to try to paint a picture about me. I'm aggressive. I'm mean to staff and this and that, which wasn't true. Then you moved my seat to the end of the dais to show that you're afraid of me sitting next to you, which is the same thing they did to Emmett Till and what they've done to black people in the South for years, which ended up in people being hung, right? They create this idea that the poor white girl is somehow in danger of the black man. Then they gaslit people into believing I wanted to steal money. He's a thief because black people steal. So like that trope that gets people to believe, oh, he's a thief. We can't trust him. You know, to where it's like, is it because I'm black? Is it because I'm bold and powerful? Like, what is it? It's this buck breaking thing that I think happens not just locally, and I will say there was probably some level of disbelief because I'm Jason Lee. Now I know who I am outside of Stockton politics, and I know they know, but that's them whipping me into submission or her trying to. That's why this election in Stockton this year. Tomorrow we will know in Stockton what direction we're moving in. And I still have to live and we have to live and lead with optimism that people will wake up and see opportunity and seize the opportunity and keep moving forward, because 4 more years of this, I'm moving to London. I'll move right over there to Buckingham Palace. Be like, I'm sorry that the Queen, sorry. All right, anyway, bye, Trump. Bye. All right, well, here we go. This George Floyd joke heard all around the world. Now, here's the deal. If you've been missing on the scene or living under a rock, there was a roast that happened of Kevin Hart probably a week or 2 weeks ago that's aired on Netflix. You can go over there and watch it. Well, there's a comedian named Tony Hinchcliffe. Now, I just came to know who Tony was after seeing him on the Tom Brady roast, and I don't know if he's racist or a bigot, but all his jokes are pretty much, they seem a little racist and bigotry. But he's funny in a in a shocking way, meaning he's one of those train wreck comedians that you watch to see the recklessness. Well, he did not fall short of who he was. Tony Hinchcliffe and Kevin Hart are breaking their silence after Tony's joke about George Floyd, the black man kneeled on and killed by Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin 6 years after George's death. Tony made this joke during the roast of Kevin Hart. Listen.
You know, Kevin, they told me not to mention your kids on this roast, but I must say, you did good. They've gotten so big, they now buckle Kevin up in the car seat. It's true, he lost his gig hosting the Academy Awards because of some homophobic tweets, but you'd be homophobic too if you were eye level with everyone's. He got into a fist fight on a private plane, proof that no matter how much money black people have, they're still just gonna act like ninjas. Always fighting. Like Bill Cosby, Hart is a black comedian from Philadelphia, and like Bill Cosby, women don't know when Kevin is inside of them. You've done good though, Kevin. The black community is so proud of you. Right now, George Floyd is looking up at us all, laughing so hard that he can't breathe. God bless you, Kevin. God bless this room, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you so much.
Well, I mean, listen, people did not react well to it, and everybody has been on social media speaking about it. Comedian Little Rel Howery was one of the first to react, and he called the joke disgusting. Look.
I ended up catching up and watching a Kevin Hart roast. You know, it was some funny people on there, and people gotta know roasting it is what it is, and it can go below the belt. What I am annoyed about, I'm just keeping it 100, y'all. Just keeping it 100. And I wonder how I would have reacted if I was there. I don't understand. Like, it's one thing to roast the people that's there. It's one thing to roast the people that may be in the audience there. Roasting somebody that, number one, is dead. Number two, that's not there. Number three, that the implications of why you should joke about that. Like Tony Hinchcliffe joke about George Floyd didn't make sense to me. There was no reason to bring George Floyd into this. It just was disgusting. I do feel a certain way that the audience was okay booing Draymond Green every time his name was mentioned. Y'all could boo. We know people was booing in there. But you don't boo Tony Hinchcliffe right after that. I'm starting to understand, and I get it, man, and I'm okay with not being a part of a lot of this cliquey bull that's in comedy or in our business that some of y'all may think I'm a part of, but I'm not. I 100% would have booed that motherfucker and probably walked out. That's all I'm saying. Come on, y'all. Like, I do think times we are like too sensitive about certain things. Why we just can't agree that bringing up George Floyd and the way he did it was just f***ed up and not funny and not needed. It wasn't even needed.
Another set of comedians, Sean and Marlon Wayans, addressed Tony's joke while speaking with Hollywood Unlocked at a Scary Movie 6 red carpet in Atlanta. Take a look. Even comedian Chelsea Handler, who was part of Kevin's roast, condemned Tony's and the roast host Shane Gillis. And here's what she told comedian Deion Cole.
Like, what were they going to say about me? They couldn't say anything other than that I'm a whore or my age. I think that was the other thing that they went in. And you're like, well, okay, those aren't jokes. That's not clever writing. And I knew they would be lazy because they do that for a living. And I knew enough about like Tony Hinchcliffe and Shane and their backgrounds. I had ex-girlfriends blowing up my DMs that had dated Shane and were telling me stuff about him. So based on that, I was like, oh, these guys are pretty bad. That they're racist, that they're bigots, that they're sexist, you know, that they think they're like invincible, that they've been canceled.
I think that now a lot of like white comics, they feel as though that they can say something racist and it's going to further their career.
Well, yeah, they're going to get in with that group of like Roganites and that Austin group of Joe Rogan and all of those guys. That's their MO. Even some girl comics have started to do it.
I mean, did you like the shit they were saying up there though? Like,
no, I mean, it was ick. It was gross. I don't find those jokes to be funny. Jokes about lynching black people. Lynching is not a joke. That's worse than rape. Like, you're not joking about rape, are you? Are you saying I'm going to go rape you? You know you can't do that, but you can say lynching? Like, I find that to be, I don't know, you know, people are like, it's a roast, you go for it. I'm like, you can go for it without being gross. Yeah. Like, I find that to be gross. I found them making fun of Cheryl Underwood's, like, dead husband who committed suicide. Like,
a skin color.
You know, she's fine with that. If she says she's fine with that, she's fine with that. I wasn't fine with that. I thought that was disgusting, too. Wow. But there was so much disgustingness that I knew it was going to be such a, like, gross vibe that I would be able to elevate it, no problem. I was like, all right, well, I'll pick it up because they're going to try and bring it down. Yeah. And Kevin didn't deserve that. He deserved like an elevated roast. I mean, I'm not here to tell black people what's funny about black jokes. Like, no, I'm not here in the world to do that. Like, I know enough to just, that's my opinion. I don't like that. I also don't like the N-word, but I have plenty of black friends who toss that around all the time. It's not my place to say, oh, that word makes me feel uncomfortable. Right. You know, black people are allowed to do whatever they want. If Kevin thinks that's funny, he thinks that's funny. I don't think it's funny.
I like her perspective there. What did you think?
Yeah, I think I love Chelsea Handler, and I think Chelsea Handler and Cheryl Underwood, in my opinion, saved the moment for the show because they actually stood up and went for the jugular on Tony Hinchcliffe because they did realize how inappropriate his statements were. And I think Chelsea Handler handled it properly. And I've seen a lot of comments in posts on social media with people attacking Chelsea Handler saying she needs to stay out of black people's business. But I think she did the right thing in standing up for black people's business. So, you know, I respect her for that.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I struggle with this whole idea that comedy cannot just be recklessly funny. And I think, as Marlon Wayans said, it can be recklessly funny, but you want people to laugh at the end of the joke. And I think for me, you know, if you were going to do a joke about my dead brother, obviously that's not funny. And I've had people talk about Rodney and my dead parents and stuff like that as a way to try to hurt me, because that's what that does. It's intentionally to hurt somebody. I don't know where that was funny. And again, Tony Hinchcliffe, and there is a market for everybody out there. There's a right wing, like just the Roganites or whatever. You can find a market that's going to align with something. I think to Chelsea's point that when you're honoring somebody like a Kevin Hart, who is important to the black culture, and then you're doing it in a form like that, that hurts his community. You need to be very mindful of that. Well, Stephen Jackson, who's always defending his twin, George Floyd, had this to say, look.
One thing about it, you can't tell people what to be offended by and what not to be offended by. Everybody laughing until it's their family member that get murdered. Then it ain't funny. Then it ain't funny when it's your family member. It's funny when it's everybody else's family member, and it's cool when it's everybody else's family member. When they come to your doorstep, you want everybody to feel a certain way. See, I rode for my brother. Didn't take a dime from nobody. Risked everything I had going on in real time. No cap, no lies. 29 different states marching for my brother. Didn't take a dime from nobody. Every dime they tried to pay me, me and Q gave back to the community. Wherever we went, we gave it back. So you can't tell people that risk things and that really love somebody to feel a certain way when he's disrespected. Clown shit. Y'all keep laughing though.
Well, George Floyd's brother, Terrence, also slammed Tony Hinchcliffe's tasteless joke, telling Lauren LaRosa Kevin Hart should have had Will Smith's Oscar energy and said something. Look.
From what I understand about a roast, it's about what you know, what you joke about that person. The reason why I felt uneasy is because I was trying to figure out what did that have to do? What kind of punchline was that? A roast is a roast is without that one person. Comedy is to make people, laugh and enjoy themselves. It's not supposed to be where you feel some type of way after you leave the room. You're supposed to leave with healing and happiness, and that wasn't the case.
He had gotten some pushback back in 2024 when he joked about George Floyd or made a reference to George Floyd during the Tom Brady roast. Do you feel like it's even more of a disrespect, or like does that kind of compile onto things for you?
I would say it's totally disrespectful. It's totally disrespectful. But if it's gonna be allowed, and he's not, he get pushed back from us, but do he get pushed back from his pockets? Do he get pushed back from anything else? If he don't get pushed back from what's really gonna affect him, then he's gonna keep doing it.
Who do you feel like the responsibility should have been on to say, okay, no, you can't do this joke?
I feel like it was the producers, the Netflix, because you have to approve it before they air it. My thing with Kevin, and I'm a fan of Kevin Hart. Dude is really funny. My family and their friends, they said, it should have had not the Will Smith action, but the Will Smith energy. Where you stand up
like
and be
Kevin Hart should have responded differently.
Right. Responded right then and there, like, well, wait, hold up. Because I remember Kevin Hart and a few other celebrities was at the Minnesota funeral. In that respect, like, wait, hold up. That one is too far. Like the whole thing about them saying he's so short, they hang him on a bonsai tree. That's not tasteful. Like, I wouldn't even laugh at that. Because that's like you bringing up our past, like, what our ancestors had to go through, and that's funny to y'all? No.
Now, here's what I love about what he's saying, and I want to, because I heard something different than what I said earlier. He didn't say he wanted him to go on stage and do what Will Smith did to Chris Rock, because guess what? Everybody canceled Will Smith when he did that. Nobody wanted to talk about or honor Will Smith or invite him into certain spaces, and we took it as a moment of comedy to watch what Will was going through with his wife, with Chris Rock, two black men fighting in public in front of them folk. I struggle with the idea that we expect Kevin Hart in the middle of his roast to get up and go over and punch a comedian on stage in support of George Floyd. Now, everybody handles their thing differently. I don't, for one, think that would have even made sense. And guess what? We would have been the same platform talking shit about Kevin Hart, condemning Kevin Hart. We'd have been on Black Twitter talking about Kevin Hart. Black people would have been, oh my God, this is great. White people would have been like, oh my God, that's horrible. Maybe there would have been a mix that said something on both sides. But that was a roast. And I think that if we don't like what this white man said about George Floyd at Kevin Hart's event, then address him and leave it there. But to say that Kevin Hart had a responsibility to shut it down and say, oh my God, we got to do something about this. We need what was supposed to happen at the moment? I went on a podcast right after this happened, literally like the next day. And they said, so what do you think about it? And this is what I had to say. Take a look. I saw the joke. I watched it the other night. There were a few jokes where I was just like, wow, like, ugh. But I didn't walk away saying cancel Kevin Hart. I didn't walk away saying cancel Netflix. But then I woke up to people having an opinion about it. And right now with social media, everybody has an opinion. I don't think Kevin Hart should be canceled for that. What is he supposed to do? Stop up and jump up in the middle of a roast and say, flag on the play, can't say this, don't say this, say this, don't say that. That's not what a roast is. That's not what it is. If you want to be mad at the comedian who said what he said, then be mad at the comedian for what he said and then deal with the comedian. But Kevin Hart, I mean, I'm not canceling Kevin Hart. It's not because I have his phone number. It's just because it's a roast. And what is he supposed to do in the middle of that? Now we live in this ultra sensitive world where you can't say this or you can't say that. And I don't know. I understand, like, if the answer can go one of two ways. If you ask me, I think that cancel culture is literally canceling culture. It's canceling art. It's canceling the ability to escape the real world into a world of entertainment that may be funny, scary, edgy, make you sad, make you happy, but it's designed to entertain. And I stand behind that because I'm very much anti-cancel culture. And the way I choose to use my relationships is when George Floyd died, I'm the one that talked with Floyd Mayweather about how important it was for him to show up. And Floyd paid for all the funerals. And he didn't go out there and get a lot of accolades for that. And nobody praised him for it, which we should have all thanked Floyd for that and been grateful. But it wasn't about the look either way. It was just about about the action. And what I hear from a lot of people, at least in this conversation, is that Kevin Hart should have done something. My question is, what should Kevin Hart have done?
I don't think Kevin Hart could have stood up and punched him in the face. He couldn't stop the roast. Like, none of that could have happened. That's just not possible, right? But I do think that, you know, a few of the comedians who addressed this circumstance in the videos prior were spot on. Comedy, in my opinion, we've talked about this before with people like Dave Chappelle,
Eddie Murphy,
or when they were under scrutiny for some of the jokes they've told in recent history. And I think the reason why their jokes land differently is because comedy is supposed to put a mirror up to society. It makes us have conversations about things that are currently happening or that have happened and make us have a real conversation about it. It's not a cheap joke that is a target at a person based on their race, their sexuality, their gender. If you do that, you're not telling a funny joke. You're just being misogynistic or racist or an idiot or an asshole. And I think in certain instances like this, these two comedians, I mean, using the word comedian to me is not even adequate. These two people stood up there and used this as an opportunity to be racist. You played and toyed with using the N-word and you thought it was funny. You made jokes about Cheryl Underwood's complexion and her appearance as a black woman because you thought it was funny. You just made basic racist jokes about people of color because you thought it was funny. And I've seen it, you know, cross my timeline on Instagram where someone tells a monkey joke and people in the audience laugh, or somebody tells a violent black people joke and people in the audience laugh. They're getting the laugh because you're saying the thing they can't say that they want to say. And that's what happened here. People are laughing in the audience because you're saying the thing they want to say that they can't say.
What if a black person makes a mass shooter joke or makes some other type of joke that's a stereotype with white people? And this is where I think comedy has to be escapism for reality. I think that there has to be some guardrails. I think the way Marlon said it was perfect. If the mother's joking at the end of it, then great. Cheryl Underwood was laughing at the jokes. In fact, she said she wasn't offended by it. Cheryl Underwood has had so many jokes over the years where people have actually talked about her. And the thing that Cheryl did that I found out that's unique to everybody that was up there is she took what Netflix wrote and she threw it away and did her own jokes. And she's the only one that got the standing ovation. So I'll give you that, because to be able to bring your own humor to the platform and to be able to stand out amongst the rest of your peers is great. But I think that when these people, and Netflix is who I'll say these people, selected the individuals to do the roast, they knew who they were booking. I don't see people online mad and saying, I'm canceling my Netflix subscription. I want Kevin Hart to get up and go beat somebody up. I want Kevin Hart to get up and do. Netflix aired it. Netflix produced it. Cancel your Netflix account. But obviously, you know, that's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that comedy is comedy. When Eddie Murphy said back in Raw or Delirious, I'm not going to go back and now ban that video from being played anymore because it was funny and I laughed at it as somebody who's gay. So at some point, I guess I asked the question, when do we allow art to just be art? Not saying that it doesn't take away from the pain and the movement that George Floyd's death caused, because it had me out there in the streets marching. It had me out there, defending his legacy, and people now, saying he's a crackhead. He's all these things to diminish him as a man when we all have had our journeys. But that doesn't take away from the point that he was murdered by the police. When do we allow art, the art of comedy, to just be comedy?
Again, I think it is allowed to be that if it is living in the form of art, because I think this stepped out of being art. I think Cheryl Underwood was okay with them making jokes about her, but I don't think she was like, oh yeah, go ahead and make jokes about George Floyd. Who cares about that?
I was talking about the jokes that they made about her.
She didn't care about the jokes about her. But again, like I think when you start moving away from being creative and being an artist with your comedy, and you're just making a jab at a person who died, that's when it crosses the line. And I think had someone stood up there and told a joke about a white person who had been assassinated recently, saying they couldn't speak or something from down there because they couldn't use their voice.
Well, there was a Charlie Kirk
but
joke,
I don't
correct?
think it was made in the form that the George Floyd joke was made. And that's what I'm saying. If it was made in that way, that was just like disrespectful to the way he died, then of course I think they would have been, outraged.
Well, let's be clear. We did see how they were outraged at Drewski when he did his skit about Erica Kirk. I mean, they lost their minds over that. But again, that's why I think there can, but we celebrated it.
Well, we celebrated.
Hold on. We celebrated the creativity. What he didn't do is he didn't say it was Erica Kirk. He didn't say Charles Kirk or Charlie Clerk. He just did a video that was funny. But that's the difference, I guess, is what we're saying, is how that joke hit and how it made a mockery of the weird shit that some of those people be doing versus a direct attack on somebody who's dead. Yeah, I mean, let me be clear. I'm not defending the joke. I think the joke was in poor taste. I think it was unnecessary. George Floyd's not even on the panel, so why even bring him up? Like, it's almost as if you use this opportunity to slide in a racist joke in the form of comedy without any feedback, pushback. And I'm glad that people are discussing it. What I'm not happy with is I don't believe Kevin Hart is the person responsible for going after Tony or Netflix and condemning or anything. Kevin went on the Breakfast Club and talked about it, and this is what he had to say. Listen.
Yeah, the George Floyd joke, it wasn't a tasteful joke to our culture, to our audience, but our audience that's watching the roast, if you're watching the roast, you get why they're doing it. You get why the racial humor is on the table. Like, it's not, I wasn't shocked. Like, that's what they do. Go look at the Tom Brady one. Like, that's what they do. It happens every year when they do a roast. It's not new. This isn't it's not a new agenda. It's not a new approach to comedy.
Do you feel like Tony Hinchcliffe went too far when he made that joke about George Floyd?
It's Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't expect less. I don't expect more.
I feel like you're saying going too far is the point. I don't know if words in your
Yes, I mean, that's why you're there. Mm-hmm. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to because we're being honest. People are talking about that joke. Talk about a set. Tony Hinchcliffe arguably had the best set, or one of the best sets, between Tony and Cheryl, and I would say Naeem had a really strong set.
Naeem had a very strong set. I was laughing out loud at Tony until the joke. But not even just that joke. I don't like when people joke about violent, tragic death. I like Pete said, and I was like, oh, why you had to say about Charlie Kirk?
Pete had a great set too. Pete had a Charlie Kirk joke in it. Yeah. Like, would I tell those jokes? No. But do I get why they're being told? Mm-hmm. Yes. Like, I'm not looking at Pete crazy. I'm not looking at Tony crazy. Like, that's what, I know what you're going to do. Mm-hmm. I know your style of comedy. I'm going to appreciate humor. I don't get affected by the attempt of humor. I get it, right? In this case, like, do more. It's my production. We're live. The more is what? Like, what is it that you expect me? You want me to take a live production and stand up and fight Tony or have a reaction? Like, Tony told a joke. It wasn't a tasteful joke to us. We didn't like it. Okay. Hey, man, fuck that joke. We move on. I don't understand why we stand on a hill and it becomes like this big thing of like, oh, man, the motherfuckers, they do this and they're attacking the culture. It doesn't have to be that. It literally is either you're a fan of this level of content or you're not. And if you're not a fan, then you don't watch it. My last note for all attached to this is whatever the headlines or whatever the dialogue is, my rebuttal is simplicity. Remove me from it. I didn't say it. If you are upset that the night went on, that's a different conversation. It's nothing I can do. It's a production. It's a live production. I'm not compromising the live production for a reaction of what? What do you want me to do? I'm supposed to drag him off? You want me to fight afterwards? You want me to turn it into what? That's not what I agreed to do. That's not the job at hand. The job at hand was to produce a successful roast, which I did. I also got the rebuttal. I also got to say shit at the end. What are we dealing with here? I'll say it again. Stop talking as if I said it. Mm-hmm. So when you say the family and the family's affected, I didn't disrespect the family. Showed up for the family when it happened. Made sure that the family felt supported. Made sure that all things there were actually cool. You know the one person that I talked to? I'm not even going to tell you the conversation. Stephen Jackson.
Oh, I know you called.
That's because that's my nigga.
Yeah.
Hey, Stack, let me just call you, man. So I can explain to you like the world of the roast, X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. We talk. I get it, Kev. We had a great conversation.
Tony Hinchcliffe himself has also spoken out and said he ain't no Nazi, gay, or racist. Look.
Hart was something else, huh? It's the first time I've been called a Nazi multiple times in just a few hours. I guess that's what LA writers' rooms, all these, a lot of mentally ill liberals out there that somehow with all these fucking blacks and Jews and Mexicans around me, I guess I'm a fucking Nazi somehow. I guess the guy that pulls names out of a bucket, giving everybody an opportunity, is a Nazi. Isn't that something? I was called that by a bunch of people that have never written anything in their lives, that literally have just been reading cue cards and teleprompters every project they've ever done, with the inability to improvise whatsoever, no opportunity to have their own thought. They just read what the writers wrote for them without any originality whatsoever. And the writers I used to work with, there's a few great writers in that writer's room, and the rest of them are just living in a bubble of mental illness, and it's very exciting. But, I mean, the most of it, you know what I mean? I got called a Nazi, gay, a racist over and over again. I'm none of those three things, a little fun fact. But they are they are fat, ugly, black, and Jewish. Everything I said was real about them, just a reminder.
He's not racist. I mean, you can listen to the guy and obviously, depending on what your views are, see that he obviously does not know that he is. Maybe he does know that he's being racist.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not a fan. I don't know him like that. I think it was tasteless. I think that there's been misdirected anger. And if anybody's going to be angry or want to cancel somebody, it should be this person. Or cancel your Netflix subscription. Again, nobody's going to do that. Right?
Nope. And he's gonna get a bigger fan base.
Oh, that's why they say the Roganites, all the Proud Boys, all those people. But now he's gonna play into that base.
Mm-hmm.
So and look, Rob and I had a whole conversation about politics, and I'm not gonna have it here. But you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
There's an audience to play into either way. So what we doing? Anyway, bye. Okay, I am excited to talk about this next. This one right here, Dr. Bryant. Now, I don't know where Rob stands on it, and I don't come to the Jason Lee podcast to have crazy fights and debates, but I think we're going to probably have one about this one. And by the way, I have invited Dr. Bryant to the Hollywood Unlocked Impact Awards, and we will make sure that she has a good old seat because she's going to come in there and look fabulous. That body's going to be biting the skin, and guess what? She might even give you a therapy session in between sets. Yes, Dr. Bryant, friend to the Jason Lee Show, is having her credentials questioned after she admitted to not being a licensed professional despite working in her field for 18 years. Now, let's be clear. I'm going to give you some more doctors that are not licensed. Dr. Dre, Dr. Pepper. I can go on and on and on. And you know what? I think even on my show, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant said she wasn't a licensed doctor. Or she didn't have a degree or something like that. Anyway, I'm here for all of the conversations and content that this is creating. You even got my own therapist creating content that's going viral. And yes, we put it on Hollywood Unlocked because we don't take sides. Well, we were introduced to Dr. Bryant as a life coach and relationship expert after seeing her live sessions with Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp, and B. Simone. A few weeks ago, she admitted on the Joe Budden podcast, that she doesn't have a license and considers herself a psychology expert and life coach, not a therapist. In response to online scrutiny, Dr. Bryant defended herself on The Breakfast Club. Now, she said that after undergrad, she got a master's of science in counseling, marriage, family, and child therapy, and then completed a doctorate's program. I'm giggling because you guys are so messy that I can feel you through the screen. I talk to you, you talk to me, we are one. And I just felt, I can see all the aunties going like this. Because you're all judging me because you're thinking I'm defending her when I'm not taking a side. I'm just going to lay it all out. We're going to have a discussion, and then I might pow here or there. Anyway, she said she completed a whole doctorate program for counseling psychology. This is what she said. Listen.
Conversation about your doctorate because people can't find your dissertation online. Mm-hmm. How are you responding to that in this new era of your life?
I'm going to clear it up once on here. I'm not doing it again. And I'm clearing it up for my doc squad, for my fan base, for my audience who deserve to hear me address it. For the folks who have already made up their mind to not like me or not understand me, listen, I don't give a fuck what your narrative is. I would like for you to recreate it, double down on it, and run that shit. Because I don't give a fuck about it. Now, to my doc squad, my fan base, my folks, you know, my village, it's very simple. I went to a school, Argosy University, completed an entire program. I went back online to get my official transcripts because I was applying to a law school many years ago to be a professor there. And I had to provide my transcripts, right, to get hired. And I went to contact the school and say, hey, I need my official transcripts. I need my entire thing. And there was no school. I was like, okay, I'm confused. I Google. It says this school has been shut down. I said, oh, well, they got to have records. I mean, they were accredited when I attended the school. They were accredited when I finished the program. I go and look, there is a third party that has the records. Why I contact the third party, that third party only holds records for 2 years. I was past my 2 years. So that means that I had no access to records. And then I contacted, financial aid. You can't make up financial aid. It shows that I paid for a doctoral program alongside my master's program and my undergrad program. And they said, we can fully refund you your money under one circumstance. We give you your money back. You don't get credit for not a class, a course, a program you took in this university, at this institute. So do you want us to refund you?
Dr. Bryant went on Fox 5's DC's Marissa Mitchell show, refusing to further prove herself. Listen.
My obedience is to God, not to people. And so as long as I'm in his will and I'm serving and I'm doing his word, my sheep will know my voice. Even the sheep in wolf clothing. That is not my battle.
Well,
That's
the
his.
questions that are out there, why not provide the proof of your degree? Why not?
Well, a couple of things, right? I have multiple degrees, and my thing is that my proof isn't something that I have to prove to individuals. My proof is already within my credentials, my degrees, and also more than just my titles. It's in how effective I've been. All of my sessions have been live, for the most part. My sessions with Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp, B. Simone, they have all been for the world to see, right? So no one knew who Dr. Bryant was prior to seeing all of my sessions that were live, and they deemed it, as well as I did before they did it. They can't validate me. I validated myself. They deemed it as my work being effective. I am effective at what I do. I'm educated and I'm successful in my lane, and I land on this. I created my own lane. And so a lot of times, Marissa, when people see that you created something that maybe they couldn't, admiration turns into envy. And you got to be okay. And you got to be okay with that in that
as an
space.
attack, but I think, and I've gotten this question from many viewers, and I owe it to them.
You
in
do.
Service to
Absolutely.
them. Why not drop doctor from your name if you cannot bring forth the doctoral degree?
So I've already covered this, right? And we're here obviously to talk about my new book. So I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. And we're going to leave it just as that. Yeah.
I mean, she's standing on business. In response to Dr. Bryant's comments, my licensed therapist, Elliot Connie, said this.
Cheyenne Bryant is lying. Not only is she lying, but she is gaslighting the public. Let me show you.
Said I worked under a license. See, all of this is terminology. The people would open up their ears and do what school teaches therapists to do. I'm not a therapist, but...
Tell the audience out there where you first got your start.
As like a therapist, I started off as a marriage, family, child therapist about 18 years ago. Before I obtained my doctorate degree in counseling psychology. Once I became a doctor of psychology, I transitioned from a therapist to a psychology expert in private practice. And a group of licensed professionals who have an issue with this, they teach you all something called active listening. None of y'all seem to be actively listening. Working under a license.
You see, gaslighting is what happens when someone tries to convince you that not only that the thing that you're saying hasn't happened, like they're lying and defending themselves, but it's also when they make you think you're crazy for making the accusation. Like you're crazy for thinking the thing you heard isn't the thing you heard. Now, she is gaslighting and insulting, like, you therapists, you're supposed to be doing active listening. We were listening. We heard exactly what you said. We heard exactly what you've been insinuating, and we caught you. It is not accurate. I've been a licensed psychotherapist for nearly 20 years. I graduated with my master's degree back in 2006, sat for my licensing exam in 2007, and have been practicing ever since. And all of us who spend a lot of time in this field, and all of us went to graduate school, we know people like this. Now, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is saying that she graduated with a degree in clinical psychology, and then she transitioned to a psychology expert. And she's saying it's just semantics and it's just language. No, it's not. Let me explain. We all know people, once you graduate with your doctorate degree in clinical psychology, you are now eligible to sit for the exam that would make you a licensed psychologist. Now, there's only two kinds of people who don't go on to do that. Number one, people who failed the exam and then thus don't become licensed psychologists. Number two, people who are making up the story and they never actually got the degree in the first place. And I think Cheyenne Bryant falls into that category. And the reason that I think that is because everything she just said makes no sense whatsoever. There are lots of programs that either shut down, get purchased, change names. It's actually not a super uncommon thing in the academic space. Your records exist, and as she said, third parties do host them, but they're not time limited. They host them forever. And this is very important for people to know, because let's say I wanted to be a dentist, right? Let me tell you how easy fraud would be if what Cheyenne Bryant is saying was true. Let's say I wanted to be a dentist. All I have to do is go find a dental program that existed and closed older than 2 years ago, longer than 2 years ago. And then I just say, I graduated from that dental program, and you can't find my records because they closed longer than 2 years ago. And then I could just say I'm a dentist. And because you can't find my records, it means it's impossible to verify. So thus I get to say I'm a dentist. That would be commonplace. I could easily just say I'm a medical doctor, start applying to high-paying medical jobs as a surgeon, and just say, oh, I graduated from medical school, and the school I graduated from closed longer than 2 years ago, so you can't find my records, can't verify them, but I get to apply. The other thing that's really important to recognize is I have never, in my entire academic career, ever heard the financial aid department of the federal government saying, we will refund your money because your program closed. That is not a thing. That does not happen. She's lying. She's making it up. No one has ever said that in the history of ever. You cannot get a refund for the education you paid for from the federal government. That is not a thing. And the third thing she said that actually makes no sense is she has a degree in clinical psychology and she was applying for a law school professorship. That's not a thing. My very best friend is a lawyer. I can tell you very confidently. I have several lawyers in my family. You can only be a professor of law if you have a degree in law. You can't, like, you don't just get a degree and then just get a job in any field. Just like a lawyer can't come and be a professor in the counseling program because they don't have a degree in counseling. What she's saying makes no sense, and it is gaslighting. And she is saying things like, the licensed community that's all upset with me. We're upset with you because you are threatening the trust in our field. You are threatening public trust in our field. Mental health is currently the #1 concern globally.
So crazy seeing your therapist pop up in the show. Hey, Elliot. Let's just take a second to just unpack all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what Elliot just said. I understand all the conversation. What I don't understand is the constant dogpiling. Like, I get it. We've heard it. We've said it. What do you want the woman to do at this point? Tell the truth. Sorry, Cheyenne. I'm sorry. I'm concerned at the amount of dogpiling. There's this one conversation to protect Black women, but not protect Black women if they're a Dr. Pepper therapist. Like, if we don't see her documentation, till we see her documentation or until she kills herself, we're not going to stop going. I just don't know where it ends. So for me, I've just kind of been sitting back watching and enjoying. I ain't gonna lie. I've been enjoying every clip and I've been watching all of them. But my question is when? When is it enough? And I don't know, because I'm, on one side of it all, I get the concern. If she's not a licensed therapist, and Cheyenne, I'm gonna call you doctor until proven otherwise. Dr. Bryant. If your paperwork don't pop up somewhere, I think she said it went through a fire. Huh?
I don't recall the fire coming.
No, I thought I heard, then somebody online said that the school burnt down where her papers was at.
Oh.
At this point, I'm just entertained. Like, I don't even care either way. I need to stop playing. I'm entertained by all of it. I'm trying to be serious here. Because at some point, obviously, mental health is important. I'm a vice mayor. Let me stop. Okay. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, you're wrong. No. Let me just say this. Okay, all jokes aside. This has been a really hard thing for me because on one side, I do take seriously my mental health, the mental health of others. And if you have fake licensed therapists showing up saying they're fake or they're real, but they're really not, that is dangerous. And I think that is a serious thing. On the other hand, she became the culture therapist by all these shows, including the Jason Lee show. Mm-hmm. And it's because I know she's not a doctor, but she said she's a licensed therapist. She's still saying she has a license. It's just the school she got it from burnt down and there are no records to be found. I don't know the history of whether or not this school was burnt down, and I don't know how you're a college graduate. Does FAMU, if it burns down, can we still find the records somewhere?
Yes, we can still get our records, yes.
Well, blame it on me not graduating. What do you think about all this when you see all this madness? Because it is madness at this point.
It's madness.
Is she lying? Does it look like she's lying? Does she owe people more answers? It's the cussing people out saying she ain't got to tell you a fuck thing for me. That's Dr. Cheyenne. I don't know who your therapist is, but that's wrong.
I don't know whether she's lying or telling the truth. I have no proof one way or the other than 6,792.8 other therapists having their time in the spotlight to dogpile on her.
Yeah.
And that is the thing that is so annoying to me. Okay, great. If 2 or 3 therapists said, I think she's lying, I think you all need to be careful.
Or if there's a story and there's thousands of comments. Okay,
great,
fine.
great. What I want is those 6,976.8 therapists who've decided to make this their time in the spotlight. Why don't y'all get together and collectively talk about Black mental health and start having those conversations once a week, as opposed to us watching you guys dogpile on this woman,
which is creating mental health issues, bullying, cyberbullying, right? So that's the point that I was making.
Yes, I'm like, would you guys shift your focus to helping Black people deal with issues,
get access to resources,
deal with the trauma that we have to wake up to every morning under this administration, give us access and the information to help us live better in our day-to-day circumstance when the economy's tanking. Like, give us that kind of advice. But me waking up every day and seeing 56 new messages, 56 new 10-minute posts about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is annoying.
And you ain't doing nothing but making her more famous. And she's going to lean, she showed you she don't care. She's going to lean into it. She's going to get on any show she wants to talk about it. She should write a book right now, even if she has ChatGPT write it and say a doctor wrote it. She should put that thing out, how becoming a doctor with a license that you can't find made me famous. She should be profiting off of all of the pain that you are creating by bullying her. Anyway, I agree. How do you know it's 6,000 something point eight? Okay, I thought you asked ChatGPT to count it. But it's every day. And there's people that don't have any following that are getting thousands and thousands of views at the negativity of dogpiling on this Black woman. And that's why I say, when I hear protect Black women, y'all be choosy when you want that. It applies to Sexy Red, but don't apply to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Okay, I thought it was protect Black women, not protect some Black women. But then again, what do I know? It's the dogpiling for me that's annoying.
Yeah.
You know, there's real conversation in this whole story that we should be having. Should a doctor who's not even a doctor, but questionably may not even have a license, be practicing? What is their practice? If I go to a life coach for life coaching and you tell me something that helps me in my life, I don't care if you have a law degree or license or not. Now, I care if you say you do and you don't, but I think that is a real conversation to be had, but it's being buried under this barrage of attacks on Cheyenne Bryant, her lifestyle. I saw one lady, first of all, you wasn't even cute. You did a whole post about what she wore somewhere. Say, if your therapist wears this, she ain't a therapist. You don't understand how you just attacked all women. Because who's to say you can't be beautiful, sexy, and educated, and good at your job? You set your own movement back, and now it's just more about clicks and clicks. And the clicks is driving this clique of attacks on Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. So I'm not defending the conversation of whether or not she needs to be licensed. She needs to deliver a license. Who she owes a license to is her clients that she talks to. Now, the real gag, baby, the real gag of all gags is if Cheyenne Bryant comes on the Jason Lee show with her certificates. Y'all are going to gag. But Cheyenne, I'm going to text. Hold on a second. Hold on. 1 second. I'm doing my podcast right now where I'm talking shit about all the people talking shit about you. And I said the real gag would be if you're sitting back amassing all this fame, all this fortune, all these looks, all of this negativity that they're putting your way, if you drop the receipts of your credentials. Now, I'm inviting you on the Jason Lee show to bring them because obviously I'm the Gag Nation owner. I literally own the trademark of Gag Nation. Anyway. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, the licensed doctor from whatever school you got licensed from, you are invited on the Jason Lee show. Please bring the receipts. Thank you. Bye. Send. Yes, I did. Because that would be the gag of all gags, right? Mm-hmm. Well, amid all the criticism, former NBA player turned podcaster Paul Pierce defended Dr. Bryant on his podcast with Azar Farida. Look.
I get it that people want to tear Dr. Cheyenne down.
Dr. Cheyenne.
And you have to listen to what she said, because I'm like, yeah, maybe she isn't a credentialed doctor like everybody else is who's in this space, but she's made a lane to where she became famous off of being in this lane. And so many people want to do it. And she said, I heard her, she said, I created my own lane. She created her own lane to where, listen, if people are going to listen to my advice and I can change lives and I can help you go from a negative to a positive, regardless of my credentials, do I have to go to school to be qualified? Like, people feel like you got to go to school to be qualified to be at a certain level. I feel like if you're changing lives and you're able to walk away from Dr. Cheyenne, like, damn, that really helped me out. Just because she put doctor in front of her, I mean, people do that all the time. You think she's the only one? No, she's the most famous one. There's a lot of people that I know that got the doctor. They ain't nowhere near got the credentials for that. She created this lane. Once she's getting bigger and bigger. Now people are like really questioning it, like, oh, where is this? Your license for the people who like, listen, man, she has created something that's like positive. She's influential. And to some degree, she knows what she's talking about, because these people who go to school that become doctors in intellect and conversation to where you're a psychologist and you can do things, therapist and all these things to get the doctorate. Just because you went by the book, that don't mean she's less qualified. She did it a different way.
But she's saying she does have her doctorate in her stuff.
Yeah, but like people questioning if she don't. Even if she don't, and if she can't prove it, if she changing lives, let her.
Amanda Seals also wanted to know why people were obsessed with the issue and then addressed backlash for defending Cheyenne. Look.
Why are you all so obsessed about Cheyenne Bryant? I'm beginning to think that this is a bot thing. Why are you so obsessed about this? Like, okay, she lied. I could see if she lied and like harmed people, but she was on my podcast and she was brilliant. I think it's fucked up that she lied. If y'all went this hard against like Kamala Harris for supporting a genocide, then like, what would that would matter to me? There's no match. I don't need to have some type of debate with Cheyenne Bryant. At the end of the day, for some reason, she felt like she needed to lie about credentials. I don't know why. I think part of the reason is because we live in a world where we act like credentials is what determines somebody's effectiveness across the board. And in some respects, it is absolutely necessary. And in her respect, it actually wasn't necessary for her to do the work that she does. That being said, I just don't care. I don't care. She was on my podcast and she was incredible. I don't care. I think it sucks, and I think it was not smart, and I think that at the end of the day, there are people who work really hard to get doctorates. There are also people who call themselves doctor when they get an honorary doctorate, and I don't think that's much different. I don't think it's much different. Maya Angelou was walking around calling herself Dr. Maya Angelou. She didn't complete a doctorate. Some university gave her a doctorate. Which university was it? Was it Spelman? I think it was Spelman. The fact that I have been harassed for the duration of this Cheyenne Bryant shit to talk about it, only to then have an actual conversation about it, which I said, it's fucked up that she lied. It is not okay that she lied. I'm also not going to throw her away. Y'all want me to throw people away, but you don't think it's okay when people are throwing folks like Cori Bush away. And I'm going to keep saying what I said, which is, it is fucked up that she lied. She also was great on my podcast. Now someone's here saying, but you threw Kamala away. How are you comparing a vice president that supports and continues to get behind genocide and Zionism with a lady who is a life coach? How? How are you all mad at me for saying that Jasmine Crockett is foul for shitting on Cori Bush while lying to her constituency about not being Zionist? Like, what are y'all talking about? This is absurd. And someone said, take a social media break. Here's the thing. I don't need a social media break. Y'all need a social media break. Because when I'm in the world, I don't have these issues. I literally just left Ohio yesterday and had a beautiful time with the folks at the Black Expo. A great time. It's y'all that are stuck here in this social media nonsense that are just turning over constant opinions that are not based in actual fact, but are presented as if they're the only option. Like, y'all need a break. I touch grass every goddamn day. Y'all need a break.
Why are you laughing?
Because she crashed out on that segment.
This is, and I'm going to tell you, I have a city to run. I have a district I'm responsible for. I got 2 living dogs who love me to death. I got the Impact Awards. I got too many things going on to crash out like that. Why is everybody crashing out over credentials? Crashed out over credentials. That needs to be a post. Y'all literally drove poor Amanda so she only got a couple more ticky booms before she like she done drug Kamala Harris into the genocide. She dropped the doctor from her name.
She drug Maya Angelou in it.
Maya Angelou is dead, and I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna take Maya Angelou about Amanda right now. When people show you who they are for the first time, believe them. Okay.
Oh, God.
Why she drag poor Maya in there?
I don't know, but I kind of.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm trying to get my doctorate. When I get my honorary doctorate, I'm gonna put it right next to my GED, and I will be Dr. Lee, and you will refer to me as Dr. Lee, because everywhere I go right now, they have to call me the honorable. They really do have to call me the honorable Jason Lee, the honorable vice mayor, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna make them.
I don't know if they call you the honorable. Do they have to say that? I thought just
if I walk
vice mayor,
the honorable. But the crashing out for me was comical. Silencing the internet, Dr. Bryant shared a video herself, unbothered, on a boat with this caption in Cardi B's Pretty and Petty. Over it. Look. Yeah, listen. If she ain't got a doctorate degree, she gonna get a doctor. She gonna get whatever she want with that. Looking pretty and petty. Anyway, I'm over the dogpiling. I can't deal with it. I kind of want it to keep going so Amanda could crash out one more good time, because if she does, I'm going to call the people to go wrap her up in the jacket. Just put her away. Could you imagine is that what I look like on Bigo?
Yeah.
Run it up. Rob used to hate Bigo.
Oh my God.
Oh, do you remember those days? Should I go back to streaming?
No.
Never, huh? I couldn't stream. I would be in trouble if I was streaming.
Oh my God.
Right?
Please don't.
No, I won't. All right. Well, salute, Dr. Bryant. See you soon. Finding papers and call me back. All right. She just texts me laughing. I don't know if that means she's coming or not. Anyway, Latto and 21 Savage welcomed their baby. Let me give them a round of applause. And I'm so glad that this relationship is out of the closet. For all of you people that have been in the closet, you know how it feels being terrified of people knowing your information. It's probably because she wanted him to get deported because he was married to somebody for papers at the time that they were dating. And when I put it out, she got mad at me. And I'm trying to rebuild this relationship with Latto. But what I learned about Latto is once she doesn't like you, she just doesn't like you. Once she is not fucking with you, and it's fine. God bless. Her career ain't high enough for her to hate people right now. She needs to still be humbled because remember, Saweetie, she started acting cute and sold 2,300 copies of her album and they labeled it a mixtape when it's just because it couldn't even go copper. Well, I'm so happy. What? Oh, shut up. Congrats to both Latto and 21 Savage as they welcome their first child together. Now, in March on episode 124, we talked about Latto announcing her pregnancy. We also talked about 21's alleged wife, Kiana Joseph, who mothers his 2 boys. Take a look. This is him and his kids. Okay. Now, 21 has a second baby mama named Key. I think it's Key, who has 2 daughters. Take a look. Okay. Well, it's been long reported that 21 and Kiana, the first baby mama, got married in 2020, the same year 21 and Latto first sparked dating rumors. 21 allegedly married for a green card.
Allegedly.
As he was born in the UK and moved to the US at 12. Now, in 2023, Kiana reportedly filed for divorce and 21 became a lawful permanent resident. In 2024, 21 and Latto tatted each other's names and were in St. Vincent by August 2025. Now, in September 2025, Latto alluded to 21 being her husband and her man. And by March 2026, Latto was pregnant. 2 months later, she's now giving birth. Okay, let me give a round of applause because that was a lot of 21s, 25s, and 24s. Hopefully you guys figured out the timeline. The bottom line is these two are publicly together now. They have a baby that tied them. They're posting and sharing for the world. Whether or not they did it while he was fake married to the one girl or he was really married to the one girl, whether he left the baby mom to get with her, I don't know all of that, and they haven't talked about it, and hopefully at some point they do tell somebody, and both of you are invited to come right here on the Jason Lee Show couch. I got a couch big enough for both of you. And we have a room you can keep all 10 of those kids in while you do the interview. I love Latto, but I'm not going to kiss nobody's ass to get their attention. At the end of the day, Hollywood Unlocked got a relationship with all y'all. And look, if we really wanted to start 21 hints that 21 Savage fucked the government over to stay in the country, we could create content all day long that you really want the pow pow. I don't care about the smoke. I'll give the smoke. And I've been really nice and really patient with how annoying this is that I'm the bad guy because we simply shared a tattoo that you put up of a man who was with somebody else. But whatever. Who cares? What do I know? 21 Savage shared this photo of the newborn. Take a look. Oh, and Emirates is my favorite airline, by the way, too. We did it. Okay, well, days later, 21's first baby mama and alleged wife, Kiana Joseph, finally surfaced, and she shared a distorted photo of her with her and 21's two sons, plus Latto. Look, this is them all together. One big happy family. Then 21's second baby mama, Key, came out of the woodwork with photos of all three baby moms. Look, which means they all know how to get along. Now, Key also shared this video of Latto talking about 21's 5 kids. Look.
Kids, big mama, 5 kids. What we missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In her bank account, we missing one baby. One baby. Let's roll. Her crew. One baby missing.
Well, social media was shocked to see all 3 women kicking it and being cool with each other. And people asked Key if she was just the wife, but clarified she's just the second baby mama. Look, just the second baby mama, damn. Long story short, I'm not the wife, I'm the girl's mother. Okay. Key then liked to post seemingly confirming the rumors that Kiana Joseph is 21's wife. Look, obviously we have that receipt because that's the world that we live in. And Key then liked comments claiming 21 and his 3 baby mamas have an understanding. Look. Why my team cared enough to put this story here, I don't know. I don't care. I'm glad the baby's healthy. I'm sure the baby is gorgeous. 21 Savage, from what I've heard from a lot of people, is a dope guy. I've heard really good things about him, and it's really good to hear good things about people who are rapping in our culture and getting people pregnant. Now, why you have 3 baby mamas and all these kids, I don't know. That's between you and them. But the fact that you all can work together to co-parent together to create a universe that is healthy and safe and positive for all these kids is great. The fact that you're an active father in all their lives is great. I'm just simply reporting the news and don't understand why I'm the bad guy. But obviously it is what it is. I wish them well. To my team, please don't put this ever back in my show. Good luck on your music. All right, moving on. Jamie Foxx has a baby. So what they're saying, he's expecting one on the way. Congrats are in order for Jamie Foxx and his girlfriend, Alyce Huckstepp, who are welcoming their first child together, according to TMZ and People. Now, this will be the 58-year-old. Man, I can have a baby then.
Yes.
Having a baby at 58 is crazy. Jamie, did you take this picture on the day we hung out? Because look at this video. I was with Jamie and Tiffany Haddish. Take a look.
Ah. Yes. Oh, let them know, honey. Yes. Ah. Look at it. Stop looking at it. Body, yaddy, yaddy.
Where's that outfit from?
It's from Temu, boo. Whole thing, Temu. Oh.
He definitely had that outfit on. Hopefully this was on the same day because, Jamie, you too rich to be re-wearing shit. Anyway, this will be the 58-year-old entertainer's 3rd child and his 31-year-old girlfriend's first child. Now, Jamie already has 32-year-old daughter, Corinne, with ex Connie Klein. Take a look. First of all, it's so crazy that she is 32 years old. I remember when this girl was like 12 when I first moved to LA, or maybe even younger, and went to Jamie's parties. She was 12. We're getting old.
Yeah, we are.
Are you gonna have a kid?
I would like to. We don't start shooting dust, so yeah, we can still have kids.
Shooting dust. Why we have to be graphic? No, but I mean, like, are you? Because you're getting kind of old now.
Well, I'm younger than you, so we're getting up there in age.
Okay, but should we have kids in our 40s? I'm close to the big 50.
Well, yeah, I plan on being 95 and still
in the club, being a nasty thought.
Maybe not in the club, but
Rob, you and I are gonna be in the club. We're gonna be those guys in the club when we used to go to the club at 25, and we used to seem like, why are they in the club?
We might be on a boat. I don't know if we're gonna be in a club.
We're gonna go from the boat to the Mondrian to take a nap, and then to twist. We're gonna be in the club.
Definitely a nap.
Okay. Well, Jamie also has a 17-year-old daughter, Annalise, with ex Kristen Grannis. Look. Now, with Jamie and his new lady, Alyce, they were first linked back in August 2022. Alyce was pictured with her friend at the world premiere of Jamie's movie Day Shift. Take a look. Okay. And in April 2023, Jamie suffered a brain bleed that led to a stroke, and upon recovering, Jamie and Alyce were spotted in August 2023 at Nobu Hotel in Los Cabos, Mexico. But by January 2025, a year and a half later, they split amid Jamie's busy schedule, and weeks after airing his Netflix special, Jamie Foxx, what had happened was, now during the special, which Alyce attended, Jamie notably joked about no longer dating white women. And back on episode 61, we recalled Jamie's dating history. It included Alyce, his two other baby mamas, Katie Holmes and Kate Beckinsale rumors. Here's the audio of what Jamie Foxx had to say about white women.
And what did the internet say? That ain't no goddamn Jamie. That's a clone. And then you saw me with a white girl. That's Jamie. You know that nigga love them white bitches. She's like, you goddamn right he does. I know he be in them white bitches. That's probably why he stroked out with all them goddamn bunnies and shit. Get you a black girl, you'll stay alive, nigga. All them bunnies got you stressed the fuck out, Jamie, with your black ass. But sisters, I'm here to tell you, I've been cured. No more white girls. No more white girls. I'm back on the black side of town. No more white girls. No more potato salad and raisins. No more white girls. No more spray tan. No more big titties. No ass. No more white girls. I gotta let them know. No more white women. Every month is February all year long. Hallelujah. No more honkies. No more white women. I'm back on the black side.
I mean, it was also like Blame It on the Alcohol. It was just a song. Well, now, despite Jamie's white women jokes and splitting from Alyce in January 2025, he found his way back to her in April 2025, and now they are expecting a child together. While many are happy for the couple, the news left others more critical, like Dr. Umar Johnson, the self-proclaimed prince of Pan-Africanism and King Kong consciousness. And I heard he really is a real doctor. Anyway, listen to what he had to say.
So Jamie Foxx got 3 baby moms with 3 snow bunnies. I don't like it. I don't think it's safe. I don't think he learned his lesson from the last scare that he said his daughter helped save him from. 3 snow bunnies, no black women. When I do the psychological analysis, not to dig all in my brother's business, but Jamie Foxx was abandoned at 7 months of age by his biological parents. They left him. He was raised by his grandparents as a doctor of clinical psychology, as a certified school psychologist, as someone who has studied child psychology since I was 18 years old. I believe Jamie Foxx may suffer from some unconscious, unhealed childhood trauma resulting from the abandonment of his mom and dad. And I think that he may hold something against black women because in his heart, I don't think Jamie Foxx has come to terms with. And I don't think Jamie Foxx has completely, if at all, forgiven his biological mother and father, but especially the mother, for abandoning him. And from what I understand, his parents did not live far from his grandparents, and they still didn't participate in his life. So I think Jamie Foxx has some deep trauma, understandably so. Jamie Foxx probably has some very deep trauma surrounding the abandonment of his parents that has left him untrusting of black women. I'm not giving Jamie Foxx a pass for triple bunny hunting. Triple bunny hunting is mad work with all these beautiful black women out here. It's mad work for him to not have been able to get one sister. He got 3 white baby moms. I'm not giving him a pass, but the psychologist in me, the therapist in me requires that I give my brother a little bit of grace because I understand the parental abandonment and trauma that he's dealing with. He's not excused from triple bunny hunting, but I'm giving my brother some grace because I know he's fighting some internal.
The good doctor has spoken. Here's the thing. My mother was not a black woman. So my mother was a snow bunny and my father was with a snow bunny. I mean, I am so tired of living in a world of divisiveness where blacks got to stay with blacks, whites got to stay with whites. Because if we heard white people saying these things about black people, we would burn the internet and their houses down. Are we wrong that we don't hate groups of people because they're people, or we don't hate straights or whites or gays or blacks or Asians? Like, I don't, Latino, Mexican. Where does hate come from?
That is a great question. And it takes me right where I wanted to go with this conversation, because, and it kind of goes back to the Dr. Cheyenne Bryant conversation, right? Because here is a person who is licensed, who is bringing their own beliefs that many would believe are racist. He doesn't like gay people. He believes he takes all of his beliefs and instill those on his clients. And now he's saying Jamie Foxx, the reason that he has children with white women is because he has unaddressed trauma from his childhood. And I'm like, why are you bringing your racial bias to your conversation about somebody's circumstance? So how many clients is he having that conversation with in private? And it also, to me, like, this is why we have to be careful with these conversations. If someone is giving helpful advice, like you said, I don't care if she has a credential online to be a life coach. If she's doing better work than you are doing because you're spreading hatred, then I would rather sit down and have a conversation with her. I would not want to go to a church with a pastor who is credentialed from a university to pastor a church, but he's telling the women in the congregation that they shouldn't have the right to vote and that they shouldn't be like active members of society, because we see an uptick of that. So I'm like, just because someone is credentialed doesn't make them a good person.
I literally just saw a post on Hollywood Unlocked yesterday, and I don't be over there, but my staff do. And thank you all for being over there. A pastor literally in the pulpit said that the Democrats are turning women into bitches, turning women into bitches, and the men into...
I can't remember what he said, but I know the post you're talking about.
Anyway, take a look at this.
A woman can't raise children. You can't raise children with tits. You gotta have balls. You gotta have a man. And for a man to not take responsibility to raise his children or to be executed, you have a responsibility before God. And we don't want to hear that. Women's rights. No. We got the sickest, poorest, economically deficient people on the planet. The other thing is this, is that when that boy Mondami came on the scene, this nigga is a Muslim. He is a jihadist, if you will, intifada, if you must, Hamas supporting, anti-Jesus Muslim. And niggas are talking about he got a good program. I don't give a damn how good his program is. He's a Muslim and Jesus is Lord. And I'm voting for him and I ain't telling nobody else to vote for him. The hell's wrong with you? I'm tired of the Democrat Party making bitches out of our women and pussies out of our men. I'm tired of it. I've had enough of it. I've had enough of it. The man needs to stand up and be a man.
What we doing? What are we doing? I am so sick of the divisiveness and the negativity and the da-da-da-da-da. And now you done clinically diagnosed Jamie Foxx without even having talked to him. Because he had all these white kids, these women, kids by these white women. Dr. Umar, you cannot come to the Impact Awards. Because it's not the Hollywood Unlocked Ignorant Awards. And I just feel like, and a lot of you prop this guy up, and look, maybe he does say a lot of good things, because I know Suki loves him, and there's people that I know, Charlamagne and the Breakfast Club have platformed him, and I love anybody who is pro-black, but pro-black doesn't mean you gotta hate white, hate Mexican, hate gay, hate this and that. Pro-black means let me educate people that black excellence Black people started before slavery. Let's talk about the richness of Africa. Let's talk about the minerals in Africa. Let's talk about the protections we need in Africa. You want to talk about genocide? Let's talk about the genocide in the Congo. Let's educate people on what mainstream media may not be covering over there. Why we got to talk? Why? I don't know why.
Why? And again,
this is low vibrational to me.
Low vibrational. Why is so much of your conversation about who's sticking the thing where? You don't like gay people. You don't like people having sex with white women. You don't like why is it all? Why do you care? Why does it affect your everyday life?
It's almost similar to like today. I clicked on the internet, and Gayle King is still defending that she's not in a relationship with Oprah. On Call Her Daddy, why you had Gayle King there to talk? Why not ask her about the interview with R. Kelly? Ask her about the interview with Lisa Leslie. Ask her about those other cultural moments that are important. Why you ask her if her and Oprah sitting up licking each other's kitty? We are over it. If them girls are having girl time on the low, that is their business. I don't care, don't want to. But why are we asking it? They didn't already addressed it.
You gonna ask an icon in media that?
Craziness. Side note, but speaking of lesbians, congratulations to Queen Latifah and her wife bringing their kid on the red carpet at the American Music Awards. Why's your mouth open?
I didn't know she did that.
You didn't see it?
No.
She brought her kid out. Now I can tell my story in public. I saw a picture of this kid a long time ago. The kid is 6 years old, cute by the way. And she was showing a picture of the kid to Kim Kardashian years ago when me and Tiffany, you know the story, when we were at the All-Star game in Chicago. And Dana was trying to hide it from me. I was like, we've been knowing each other way too long. Let me see the picture. And I saw the kid. And I loved the fact that what she said to me at the time was, I want to protect him. It wasn't about protecting her sexuality, protecting her partner. It was, I want to protect him. But I'm glad that she is now, I don't know, she might be hosting all the prides next year, because at this point she did Angie Martinez's show, which I texted Angie. She did a phenomenal job just allowing her the space to share her story. And I loved what she talked about in terms of privacy. And then I love the fact that she brought the kid out.
I love that.
She should do that at the Impact Awards.
I was going to say, she just needs to come here.
Anyway, living your truth. Bye, y'all. Let's get to thoughts and prayers. Upon entering adulthood, we are taught many lessons like buy life insurance, invest in a 401k, and most importantly, never, ever mess with the I, the aura, and the S. Well, apparently that goes for everybody but Trump. Not only has this man conned his way into the White House, but has now conned his way out of any pending tax audits, and then had his administration create a slush fund to reimburse members of MAGA mania that stormed the Capitol. Meanwhile, the descendants of slaves like me and Robert can't get no reparations. And speaking of Trump's MAGA minions, Michelle Obama suggests that not all are villainous. They all may not be villainous, but they definitely voted one into power. And who the hell voted to keep Tony Hinchcliffe's George Floyd joke in the Kevin Hart roast? I think we're all in agreement about roast being below the belt comedy, but in this case, the joke wasn't funny. But will there ever be one? Kevin thinks Tony's joke isn't a big deal, just like many feel with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant's title. Dr. Bryant said her success and positive client reviews are enough proof to back up her name. But hell, if you can call Trump the president, we can call Cheyenne a doctor. And speaking of doctors, Dr. Umar Johnson has said that he doesn't have an issue with Dr. Bryant's name. However, he has a problem with Jamie Foxx having a kid by a white woman. Yeah, he joked about no longer dating non-melanated women, but he's allowed to love who he wants, and he's got bigger things to do, like preparing to become a daddy to a newborn at the damn age of 60. And just like Jamie, 21 Savage is out here with 3 baby mamas as Latto gave birth to her first child. Congrats, Latto. We ain't going to talk about you no more, but good luck. And congrats to 21 for having 3 of his child's mothers getting along and co-parenting. Everyone else, take note, because we need more love in the world. All right, and listen, if you are missing the Jason Lee Show over at BET, you need to go see my episode with Dame Dash. It was phenomenal. It was a mess, and it was wild, and it's doing numbers. Take a look. My next guest is somebody who is a mogul in the industry. He's been around for a long time. Has created a lot of impact.
Pardon me, I'm a tycoon.
Dame Dash. You brought up Charlemagne a few times.
Keep my name out your mouth, Charlemagne, and then I won't be on your head. Pause.
Memphis Bleak said you crossed the line.
I would trade Bleak for Cameron any day right now.
Why do you hate Cameron so much? What's going on with that?
Because he betrayed me.
He did?
You act like a girl.
Was Rachel Roy Becky with the good hair?
No, this is going to be bad for me.
What's the biggest misconception about Dame Dash?
I'm definitely not homophobic.
Do you think a gay man is less than a man?
These are gay questions.
Everything coming in and out my mouth is gay, Dame.
I want to talk about some man shit.
Okay.
Pink light.
Wait,
That's who Jason Lee is.
I didn't know Aaliyah, but
None of y'all knew her. What y'all talking about?
I didn't know her the way that you did.
You didn't know her at all.
But I met her a couple times.
That means you met her.
So am I gonna get attacked now?
I'm gonna let you take a break, man. You see
There's no break.
Yeah, it is. We'll take a break.
And also, speaking of the gays, because he was pink lighting me throughout the whole show, I had an amazing time with Bobby Lights in DC for DC Pride. I got a BET Black and Iconic Award, and Rob was there. It was phenomenal. With T.S. Madison and other people were there, and I did a whole vlog, dropped it over on my Instagram. Take a look. We're heading to Washington, D.C. because I'm being honored by BET for their 2026 Black and Iconic class. And it's during DC Pride, so I'm going to get out. It's my first time ever being to DC Pride and my first time being honored by BET, I believe. But anyway, it's really good because lots of hard work, lots of sacrifice, lots of challenges, lots of turbulence getting to where I am, and it's finally being recognized, and it feels good. So I have a speech, and yes, it's going to be longer than 3 minutes because it's my time, and I'm going to take you along for the ride. Trust me, everybody knows who you are. We made it to DC. So let me go on and get my award. First it's a Black and Iconic Award. Next thing you never know, I'm gonna get a BET Award. How I leave my suit though, that's crazy.
What color is this? Black?
You'll have to wait and see like everybody else. The big reveal. I will say, I do like my suit. Do you like it? I like the suit.
I just want to see it together.
My speech is 5 minutes long. Is that too long? 5? That's long, right? So I need to cut it down to what, 3?
3 is, I mean, it could be a captivating 5 minutes. So.
I need to cut it down to 3. I have a lot to say. I'm a talk show host. I'm supposed to talk. We're going to a house party.
Oh, no.
No,
it's private. It's not that.
Excuse me, we're going to a private villa. First of all, let's be very clear about something. Yes, I'm out here for BET. Yes, I'm Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked, but I'm also the vice mayor, and I got to be protected at all times.
So what does that have to do with us going to our house party?
Security and Secret Service, so you're security.
Oh, no.
This weekend, you're officially the advanced team. I'm going to send you first, and you can scope it out loud.
And I get another job title, a no raise?
Not advanced team. He's going to be the advanced team.
What is advanced team?
The advanced team, listen, when I used to see Kamala has an advanced team. The team goes in advance to scout it out.
I think that's what I was anyway.
So you're going to go scout it out, and
you're
going to tell me if it's worth coming.
You're going to go see if people shoot.
And if you get there and there's people in tank tops, flip-flops, and attitude, I'm not pulling up.
I may pull the trickery and just have y'all go anyway. Like, it's lit!
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too. Hello, Jason. Okay, I took this. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm my bad.
We're a couple hours away from BET's Black and Iconic Awards, where I'm getting honored with the Culture Trailblazer Award. Obviously, I'm not anywhere ready, but I will be pulling myself together so I can hit that red carpet and get in there. And I'm giving a speech that's gonna be televised, so I'm also a little nervous, so stay tuned. Obviously 5 minutes is too much, and I don't even like to do long speeches, so I've cut my speech down to 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Come on, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go so you can be honest.
Yes, it's time to be honored. The Black and Iconic Awards, and my speech is loaded in the teleprompter. I am ready. Where are you at?
I'm here at the bay.
I'm on the second floor. Are you going inside? I'm walking over now.
Yes, y'all look nice. Hey.
Hello, is that Zell over there? First of all, I want an art installation. I want a house big enough to have an art installation. Okay, so wait.
I don't know. Where we get a wristband from?
Do we need a wristband?
Inside. No, you're good.
We're at the Black and Iconic, powered by BET. Jason Lee is getting an award. We're excited. Shout out to you.
What does it mean to you today to be honored with the
I mean, first of all, my new relationship with BET, with my show, The Jason Lee Show, going over to BET, and them acknowledging me for the work that I have done has been great, because it's been a long road. And, you know, I think when you see people making moves, you don't see all the work, all the struggle, all the sacrifice. And so tonight really is just a reflection for me on all the work that I put in again. I mean, you know, God made us all unique to ourselves, so why be somebody else? It's just too hard to be fake. It's too hard to live up to somebody else's image. So I just wake up every day and I do what I feel I'm moved to do, and sometimes I hit the mark and sometimes I miss the mark, but there's always another day to figure it out. Hello there, hello. Sorry if I'm interrupting everybody, but it is what it is.
Look at you bad bitch. You finna get some silver shit on you. Look at you. You do know today is T.S. Madison Day.
Where, here?
Yeah, in D.C.
So then you should be out tonight. Come out, we're gonna go out. Are we going this way?
Yeah, here.
Lee, Ross, get in the character.
We in character. We love to get in the character. Somebody else.
Non-Cultural Trailblazer Award honoree is an innovator in media with dedication to redefine the landscape and expand representation. And with every major move he makes, Jason Lee does just that.
Now, you know what, my whole life I grew up saying, what would I do if I got a BET award? And somebody let me in here and actually gave it to me. So I know y'all been taking everybody else's, but I'm taking this shit home with me because you're not gonna take it back. In true Jason Lee fashion, I have to say, do he even got a BET award? Well, I do now. Tonight I stand here deeply humbled and grateful to receive this BET Black and Iconic Award as a cultural trailblazer. First, I want to thank BET for recognizing voices that don't always fit neatly into the boxes that the world create for us. And a special thank you to Tyel Hayes for creating a space that celebrates Black excellence, culture, authenticity, and impact in such a powerful way. So thank you, because a lot of us don't have these platforms and it's important. So give him a round of applause, please. Thank you. Several years ago, I had this wild dream about pursuing entertainment business. I want to figure out how to get entertainment business. I want to do something. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I had a going away party. I was 19 years old, and I'm gonna go to Hollywood and I'm gonna make it. And I invited my family there. One of my brothers got murdered. His name was Rodney, and today is his birthday. And his last words to me was, I love you. So in some weird way, I pray that he's in heaven watching me tonight and is proud of the man that I've become. So I love you, Rodney, and I love all of you. Thank you. First, I'd like to give honor to God.
Giving honor to God.
And to all of the people who won an award but don't have the means to get one. All right, that's it. So I've given you enough. We've given you enough. If you want to text me, here's my number, 310-388-6463. You can text me right now. Until next time, see you later. Peace.
The Jason Lee Podcast.